Hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel and this is Max Confessions. On today's episode, I have a beautiful young lady who is on set with me to talk about and hopefully heal from a devastating experience that she had when she was 15. At 15, she was gang raped by three men, and at 18, she was excommunicated from her church for God knows what. But let's get to the story and understand where all this is coming from. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How would you want us to begin this episode? Because to be very honest, it's as devastating as it sounds. Could you please talk to us about it?
Um, I guess I'll start by saying I had a good life growing up.
Okay.
I was rebellious, and I was rebellious because we used to live in Lagos before,
Okay.
and then one day my parents moved out of Lagos and moved to Ogun State because my dad built a house there,
Okay.
and I was a teenager. I was 12, 13 when we moved there.
Okay.
I did not like the lifestyle there. I was not used to it. And it was like being uprooted from a city and going to the remotest part of a village, not even where there's some action in the village, like going to the part of the village where nothing is happening and it's totally boring.
Yeah.
Things like that were very weird to me moving there, and it made living there hell. And of course, all my siblings were no longer in the house. They were all in the university because I'm the last child, and there's a big age gap between I and everyone in my family.
Okay.
So one day, a friend of mine was sick when I was in secondary school.
Yeah.
I was in SS2 then. It was April.
How old were you at this point?
I was 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was 15 too.
Okay.
So I took her to her house, and our house is not too far off from my house. So coming back to my house, I decided to walk. It was around 5, and I should have been home since like 4 p.m.
Okay.
On the way to my house, there's like a government school close to the place. And the government school had like so many corners and places that people used as hideouts to do a lot of derogatory things and
Yeah.
bad things, and you were constantly warned by your parents to not pass there once it's like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m.
Yeah.
But it wasn't 7 p.m.
This
It
was
was
5
just,
p.m.
yeah, it was just 5 p.m. I think I should digress a little.
Okay.
At 15, I was wearing a D cup. My breasts were kind
Fully
of
formed.
huge for a 15-year-old.
Okay.
And my hips were very huge too. So from in a place like that, people had all sorts of ideas. They were saying, oh, I started having sex. That was why I had big breasts. My breasts were too big for a child my age. Some people were spreading rumors that I had a baby, but my parents were hiding the baby because why should my breasts be that big
Yeah.
at that age? All of that used to get to me, but you would get the point of saying that eventually. So
Yeah.
when I was going back home, I still remember the voices of the people, and it was like a shortcut,
Yes.
trying to pass a shortcut to your house. I got stopped by one of them, and he reeked of all kinds of things, alcohol, cigarettes, and they called my name.
So they knew who you were.
Yes, they knew who I was. They called my name, and I stopped, but I did not know them. The road was deserted. It was just me on the road. They started groping me, and before I could say anything, they had dragged me to fucking hell. They had dragged me to like an uncompleted building just by the road, and oh my god, I didn't think I was going to be this hard.
I'm sorry. Take your time.
The first person had his way, and he realized I was a virgin. And I remember him saying to his other colleagues that she be virgin. Oh.
He actually said that to their hearing.
Yes. He didn't stop though. He kept going, and I was screaming, I was begging, I was crying. And when the first person was done, the second person had his way too, and the third person had his way. And when they were done,
Yeah.
I remember I was wearing a flowery boxer, not a tight, like a boxer kind of shirt.
Like underneath
under my
the dress.
school uniform.
Okay, your school uniform, yeah.
Yeah, I was coming back from school.
Yeah.
I wore it and there was blood all over it. And I went outside of the place.
Mm.
And then I go home. I was in the shower for a long time. I cried a lot.
Who did you speak to about this?
Nobody.
Not your parents, not your siblings?
I didn't have my siblings in the house.
Okay, valid, but your parents were with you.
Yeah, but I didn't tell my parents anything.
Was there a particular reason why you didn't?
I was already at the age of being rebellious and we're constantly fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything because I didn't know how to say it.
Did they threaten you?
There was no threat. They just told me to stand up.
Because I'm trying to understand why. Yes, because now the beauty of this show is while we talk about experiences that we have had, we're also setting a precedence for those who are coming after us. One of the very prevalent questions that I've had over the years is, why do kids not talk?
Because they're scared. You also don't want to disappoint your parents because there's some sort of trauma that comes with it, and people are like, oh, that's the girl that got raped. People like put fingers on you, and the guy is not the person that rapes you. Is not the person that is victimized. You get trolled, you get abused. People say all sorts of things to you instead of trying to find your way around it to help you.
I'm really sorry for this.
I'm good. I think so.
This is a really, really sad experience, to be very honest.
Fuck. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Like, it's totally fine.
Yeah. So it's just hard to actually open up to your parents about things like that.
Yeah.
And I still have nightmares from the voices once in a while.
How were you able to deal with that as a 15-year-old?
I was a hyper-achieving 15-year-old. I was best student, head girl, best overall, everything you could imagine.
Yeah.
But that slowed me down a lot.
That affected your academics?
Yes, because at the end of SS2, at the end of third term, I didn't come first, I didn't come second, I came third, and that's never me. I was always first.
Did any of your parents take note of that?
Yes, they did. But I also had to write WAEC, write GCE, and I had to write NECO.
Yeah.
In SS2. So they just thought it was the pressure of all the exams that made me slow down academically. Apart from the fact that it affected me academically,
yeah.
It fucked me up mentally because I had nightmares for so long.
So other than your parents, there was nobody you could talk to, maybe like a friend?
I didn't tell anybody till I left my parents. Whenever I'm going to my parents' place with my partner. When we pass there, I sometimes close my eyes and I don't want to see the surroundings. Although they've rebuilt the place and it looks totally different. I never passed there alone. It's been 15 years.
So moving from this experience at 15,
yeah,
run me through what happened with the whole excommunication thing in church.
So after the whole rape thing, and I graduated from secondary school. At 18, I got admission into University of Ilorin to do remedial.
Okay.
I met some guy from church.
Okay.
I told him about my story. He was 28 while I was 18.
Okay.
I went to his house to spend the night. At a point, we both got naked, started fondling.
Yeah.
And before I knew what's up, his cock was out. He penetrated me and he hurt me so bad. It was just once though.
Okay.
After a while, he was feeling guilty and feeling bad. And so he went to the elders in church to confess to them that he had sex with me.
His guilt
Yes.
drove him to the elders.
Yes.
Did you guys have a conversation about this before he went to them?
No. And then he called me that he has gone to the elders. And so I need to go tell the elders of my own congregation before they come up to me.
What exactly did he tell his elders?
He said I seduced him into having sex and I was not a virgin when he had sex with me.
So basically he spin the wheel like against you.
Yes, he did. I did not even know what it meant to seduce a man at that age.
Yeah.
He said I seduced him into having sex and he said no to me, but I begged him for the sex.
Oh wow.
I had to go tell the elders in my congregation so that there was not going to be a lot of drama with it.
Okay.
That yes, I did have sex with this boy and this is how it happened.
So you guys had different elders, or
Yes, we had different congregations.
Okay.
My congregation was in Ogun State, his congregation was in Lagos State. But there's this thing where if someone sins with somebody else in another congregation,
yeah.
the elders can write a letter or send an email to that congregation and then they can deal with it and give them both same punishment or whatever punishments the elders deem fit. So that is like what all of that is.
Okay.
Yeah, so he said I was the one that basically seduced him and made him have sex with me, and he didn't want to have sex with me. It was against his will.
Did your parents get to know about
Yes, my parents knew it was a very messy situation.
How did they feel, or how did they react?
My parents were upset. They were mad at me. They felt disappointed because my older siblings married as virgins.
All of them?
Yeah, I was not going to say anything to my parents. It was because he went to meet his elders. That was why I had to go meet my parents, tell them, and then go to the elders.
Wasn't that an appropriate time to also say, guys, this is what happened to me at so and so time. I couldn't talk about it then.
I did tell them, but it was already late.
It was already late.
Nobody was interested in the fact that I got raped. They were interested in the fact that I had brought shame
to the
and
family.
embarrassment to the family. This dude, Benga, tells my parents that they should go and run HIV tests for me because I gave him HIV.
How did he know?
He had not tested himself. I did 4 tests in a space of 1 year. They were all negative. This boy kept harassing me. When he did the test eventually, he was negative, but I didn't get to know that until like maybe 4 or 5 years after.
No apologies, nothing?
Oh, he tried to.
For which exactly?
He tried to apologize for everything.
Let's get back to how the elders handled
no,
the
that
issue.
was very messy. Like I said earlier, I had big breasts, wide hips.
Yeah.
People were already giving out rumors about me.
Even in church?
Yeah, I was stereotyped everywhere. And by the time it happened, and I went to confess to the elders, I remember one of the elders saying, if you've eaten a dog 10 times and you've eaten a dog 1 time,
you're a dog eater.
Exactly, you're a dog eater. And one of the elders particularly was hammering on it that in one place they said one person, I don't even know this person you're talking about that claims to have had sex with me. Can they come and say it to my presence?
Your face, yeah.
Because I realized at a very young age that if you're a hot girl or you're a beautiful girl with a very good body, a lot of men will claim that they've been with you, even though they've never seen what your underwear looks like.
Very valid.
And that happened to me a lot. I was told that, oh, you kissed Shubomi, you did this, you had sex with this person, this, so. Like, I don't even know all these people. Some of these people, I just say hi to them randomly. How can I have sex with so many people? Like, how much body did I even have then? How old was I? It was crazy because this particular elder kept hammering on the fact that you can't tell me if you've had, and I kept saying it's only Benga and people that raped me. The man did not agree, so they disfellowshipped, excommunicated me.
Did they at least try to like have a fair hearing with the elders from the other congregation before coming to that?
Oh no, it's the elders in your congregation that will decide. Yeah, whatever punishment was meted out to you, you had to do it. But if there is a punishment that is meted out to you,
Yeah.
you could write a letter to appeal it. So I wrote a letter and stated everything that happened from my side. So they sent in elders from a different congregation
Yeah.
who were neutral and did not know me before. So when the elders from the new congregation came, I had to go through the whole trauma of telling them again how everything happened to me, the rape and everything. And I remember one of the elders from the other congregation holding my hands and hugging me and telling me that it's not my fault and saying he knows I was taken advantage of, but I should have come to the elders first immediately as soon as he took advantage of me, and that would have given me an edge. And so they said they were going to change it from being disfellowshipped, which is excommunication, to reproof. Yeah, the elders in my congregation though refused that I get the private reproof. They said they were going to make it a public reproof instead. And if it was a private reproof, it will not be announced on the platform that you're now on reproof. But if it is public, it will be announced.
So basically, they were hinged on shaming you.
Yes, it was better than being excommunicated.
Okay.
So he told me that there's a public reproof and they announced it on the platform.
How did that affect your relationship with both members of the church?
People were running from me. People that were my friends were not saying hi to me. There were kids I used to play with because I don't know if I should say children love me. I don't know what it is about me.
About you.
But children always want to attach themselves to me. They love me. I'm like their number one person. When that happened, they restricted their children from coming close to me. Some people would not even want to say hi to me. Some people just like,
How about your siblings in all of this? Did this in any way affect your relationship?
I didn't have a good relationship with my siblings from the beginning. My parents are great parents, but they did a lot of comparison.
Which is very unhealthy for siblings.
Yes, it caused a lot of sibling
rivalry. Yeah.
Even till now, when I grew older, I had a conversation with my dad and mom, and I told them that you guys are the reason why I and my sisters are not close. I could see tears in my parents' eyes because at the point when they realized it was already too late. They tried their best to make us friends, and we try our best to be friends too.
Did you get to that point where you were like, you know what, fuck it, I've already been raped, I've already been excommunicated from church, like I've been accused falsely for something I didn't do, you know what, let me just go haywire with my sexuality and experience or explore whatever it is that I wanted to do. After all, I already have the bad girl tag on me.
I'm not going to say I went haywire. I met my partner. I met him September 2012. He used to hold my hand through it all. On days when I'm having issues with my parents, he'll call me, I'll cry. He would stay on the phone with me while I'm crying. He was there for me. And the first time we were ever together sexually, I cried. It was hard for me. I started opening up to it because he was really like, I don't know if there's any other word. He was like my support. Subsequently, it got easier and we started having good sex. I realized there was a nympho hidden in me.
Okay. So, words like that spike a lot of interest in me, in my head. Give me details.
I discovered that I actually did like sex.
With the right person.
With my partner.
Yeah.
A whole lot, actually. More than I can. I don't think like is a word. I love sex. I enjoy sex. And it also helped me to have sex and have an orgasm.
Okay.
Squirt. Is that having so much sex? I remember our first year, we downloaded this Kama Sutra sex style thing from Google that had like 48 sex positions. It was like a whole PDF file.
Okay.
And he told me about it. He sent it to me and I was in school. He was in school too.
Okay.
We were both looking forward to seeing each other.
Okay.
So when we saw each other, we tried out all the 48 positions.
All 48 positions?
In 3 days. By the third day when I went to my school, My pussy was hot and I had crazy bruises. But the sex was so good.
48 different positions in 3 days.
Yes, we did.
That's a record.
I should think so. Everybody knew us because there was always commotion and noise whenever I was around. All the noise from having sex.
Yeah.
Both of us being loud. It was crazy. After university, we started experimenting with edibles.
Okay.
And I remember in 2020,
Okay.
he had a party in his house. Somebody gave me an edible. Now, it was so sweet. I didn't know it was an edible.
It was an edible.
I ate like half of it.
Mm.
And I remember I was so horny. When he dropped me off at the hotel, I was begging him to not go, that he should just let us have sex. And we did. I squirted.
Mm.
We went into a whole state of debauchery for hours. And that was insane. And
Where is the weirdest place you guys have had sex?
it was on the beach, but just at the seashore.
Okay.
There was this canoe parked by the seashore.
Okay.
And we had sex.
Inside the canoe.
Or outside the canoe. I held onto the canoe. He lifted my legs a little and we had sex by the canoe.
So guys, if you're wondering why she keeps looking in a particular direction, it's because her man is right here in the studio with us. So he joined the conversation midway and he's right here. So I'm trying to get him to sit beside her and like let's hear the both of them talk about their experience, but he's saying no to that. Well, I'm hoping that I'll get him to speak on his experiences someday, right? So
yeah, I think that's one of the weird places.
Have you guys involved partners in your relationship?
We had someone that was actually trying so hard to be a third wheel in our relationship.
Really?
I don't know. I might have said yes to it, but he was not
approving of it.
Sexually attracted to her.
Would you have been comfortable to watch him have sex with someone else?
Yeah.
And you didn't have a problem with that?
If I'm there,
Okay.
yes. But if I'm not there, please do not.
Is there a difference between this sort of relationship and an open relationship?
No, a relationship is not an open relationship, because in an open relationship, you can have sex with whoever without your partner's consent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can date whoever.
Mm.
You can. I'm not dating anybody.
Yeah.
I'm only dating my partner.
So I actually wanted you to clarify that, because this is a subject that a lot of people have taken out of context.
It is not an open. If you ask your partner for permission, consent, it is not open. Your relationship is still closed. You just explore things that other people are too afraid to explore in their relationship, which leads them to cheating.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, if my partner wants a threesome, he will tell me. We would set a date. We will both look for a candidate, someone we think is sexy or hot enough for both of us.
For both of you.
And then we would have the threesome.
So you're okay with having sex with same gender?
I don't want to say I don't like having sex with girls, but I don't like to be the one giving anybody pleasure if it is a girl.
So you'd rather be on the receiving end?
Yes. Okay. But if it is a man, I don't mind giving the pleasure.
There's this narrative that if your partner is comfortable with you exploring with another person, either someone of the same gender or the opposite gender, then he or she doesn't love you enough.
No, that's a lie. If you guys communicate, because most women are very sexual.
Yeah.
A lot of women want to explore. A lot of women want to have a train run on them. A lot of women want to be involved in gang bangs. A lot of women want to have a threesome with 2 men.
Yeah.
And a lot of women do it in secret. They don't say it to their partner. And that is just cheating and being dishonest.
Yeah.
So if you can talk to your partner and be honest about your feelings, communication is very important in a relationship. If you guys communicated from the beginning that you're very sexual, you will find your person if you're very sexual and you're open to being with other people. Maybe you're a woman and you want to be with another woman, or you're a man and you want to be with another man.
Yeah.
If you and your partner are both understanding, you guys can talk to yourselves, communicate about it. Because before my partner had a threesome that we did, we communicated it. it was a birthday gift to him.
Okay.
I asked him, would he like a threesome? He said it's on his bucket list and he would like to take it off his bucket list. And I said, let's do it. If I feel a certain type of way sexually, I tell him, baby, I feel this way sexually, and then we talk. So when you talk about these things, it is easier for you to not act on it because you have spoken to your partner about it. But when you don't talk to your partner about it and you're hiding it, it is easier for you to cheat on your partner. Yeah. So it's just better to just open up and communicate.
So basically, instead of you going behind your partner to have sex with someone else, why not just have the conversation with your partner and do it with their consent?
Yeah.
And everybody's good.
Yeah, everybody will be good.
Why do I feel like we'll have less paternity fraud if this was the norm?
There's also a lot of women that are attached to their exes. Don't forget that.
Very valid.
So it might not just, the paternity fraud is not just about the sex. It might be, they married who was available, but they still love their exes. And because they married who was available, they cannot talk to, because they don't even love the person enough
in
to
the
talk
first
to the
place.
person. Yeah. Because if you love somebody, you definitely want to talk to the person about everything. So they might not love the person enough to even talk. So paternity fraud will still very much exist.
Where is this relationship headed?
We would have gotten married this year, March, but I had a crazy freak accident.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. So all of the money for weddings and different things
went into medication.
Yeah, medications and tests. It was millions. We spent millions. Like.
Oh wow.
So we'll be getting married next year.
So your partner loves you with all your craziness.
I'm a good girl. Baby, am I not a good girl? See, he gave me thumbs up, which means I'm a good girl.
Whatever that means, that's okay by me.
I try my best. There are days when I want to break my partner's head. There are days when he's like, what the fuck is this wrong with this girl?
Yeah.
I think the bane of it is that we can always come back and still be best friends, even when we're fighting. So you're not going to eat.
So you guys have that friendship.
He's literally my best friend. I tell him everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And we have an amazing relationship, I guess.
That's beautiful to hear, honestly.
And he buys me things because he knows I like bye-bye. He buys me things and gives me money.
Looking back in hindsight, do you think there's anything you could have done differently with the experiences that you had with communication?
I think I should have opened up to my parents when I got raped. At least I would have not had to carry the burden, because it was a bad burden to carry. So I would have opened up to my parents and done things differently. But other than that...
So basically it's about communication at this point.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This was a beautiful conversation. I really had a great time talking about this. I'm really sorry for what happened to you. I'm glad to know that you're healing. I'm sorry for making you cry.
You owe me a bucket of KFC chicken.
Very valid. I'm sure I can afford that. I'm really sorry about that. But it's good to hear you open up, talk about it, and heal from that experience. Honestly, I'm glad to see that she's doing way better. She's a strong woman right now. So if a wedding invite is extended to me, I'll tell you guys, so we'll probably crash the wedding together. If you want to be a guest, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, kindly send a message on Instagram. Send a DM on Instagram to 1206.tv and we'll invite you to come talk to us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and also share this video, because a lot of people would love to learn a thing or two from this experience. So this was a confession. What is yours? My name is Emmanuel. See you in the next video.